What did happen? Jesus came into the temple and he saw money changers. He saw people there making a killing off poor people. He saw men there not caring about the temple, but they wanted to make money selling doves that were not totally right and other animals to people who could not afford anything else. When he saw their attitude, he got off. He went off. He went off, AF. And when he went off the breath, he turned tables over. I mean, he was kicking stuff over. He ran those folk out of there. One man, I don't know how many men was in there. But the anger and the fire on him drove every money changer out, drove every evil person out, drove every crook out. One man, Jesus, who was not some big Samson or some tall man, but because he had the power of God on him, he drove out every spirit. What am I telling you? When you get the blessing, the anger of God on you, I don't care what spirit has been hooked up in your life. I don't care what has been inside of your temple. When you get the hot breath of God on you, you can drive it out. You got to know how to use anger the right way. No, the enemy said, I got to keep these folk twisted. Because if they ever realize I'm the one doing all this, and all of them turn the anger on me, and they get a holy anger, as long as the stuff is unholy, I got it. I got them right where I want them. And as long as I got them looking at each other, I got them right where I want them. As long as I got them upset because they didn't get something that they thought they want, as long as I got them looking at other people's stuff and getting jealous because of the stuff that they got, that they have, I got them where I want them. I'm making them use their own anger against themselves. I wish you heard that. Why do you have trouble in your marriages? You're using anger against the wrong person. Why are you having trouble on the jobs? Anger against the wrong person. I just need to preach tonight. I feel it. I feel it. What does God say? You need to get that same rage in you. When you know you ought to do right, and something comes up in you that makes you angry with your brother or sister, you ought to say, hold up, it's not them. God used that situation to let me see what was in me. There's no need in my getting bent out of shape over them. Because if they could do it, somebody else could do it. But thank God he used somebody that's in the brotherhood to let me see myself. Oh, my. God gave us the anger to protect his name. You are made in his image. Why do you keep trying to change the image? I'll tell you why in a minute. That's what I'm hoping to get to. Look at this, city of pride. The city of pride in its fallen state looks like this. It had gates of ingratitude. It had walls of blasphemy. This is what we know. So what is our greatest fight? Minding your own business? No, not really. Your greatest fight is ingratitude and blasphemy. But seriously, if we were minding our own business, I'll show you that too. That's coming. So what does God say? We read this in Mark chapter 7. There are 13 steps down into the heart, in the work of heart. We have a lab, which is a work of heart, and labah is your love of heart. So in the heart, we have 13 steps going down. And we're going down to number 13, which is the old fool on the throne. Now, if you will notice, number 11 is what? Blasphemy. Don't tell me it's not in your heart. He said, all these things proceedeth out of man. It's in your nature. I didn't even recognize the form of blasphemy. And when I saw this lesson, I said, oh yeah, homeboy's in trouble. Needs some help here. Needs prayer. And I found that all of us need to recognize when you are into something that has nothing to do with you, and that thing had the Lord's name on it, or God's working with somebody, and you go against it. I don't care how many folk agree with you. It doesn't make it right. You could be in the majority, but it doesn't make it right because it never was your business. I know it sounds like a meddling, but I'm getting to a point. I need you to see something here. Here's God working on something, working with somebody, and you over there wondering, well, no. And God said, mind your business. It had nothing to do with you. Watch this. What is blasphemy? The wall of blasphemy, the word godoth, it means to vilify. It means to speak against something, to defame it, to rail over it, to scorn it, to degrade it, to speak evil against something. Godoth. There's some things that we can do and don't even recognize it. You see, the lesson I gave you, we talked about Sunday, about the man who had the actually Parkinson's disease. He had palsy, Parkinson's disease. He shook and couldn't be still. Jesus he didn't say anything about the Parkinson's, the shaking. He said, be of good cheer. Thy sins are forgiven. Now, it made some folk mad that he said that. He wasn't talking to them. It had nothing to do with them. They were not shaking. He reached into this man's life and told him, more importantly than you getting delivered from Parkinson is for you to be freed from the 13 levels of corruption in your heart. And I want you to know your sins have been forgiven. What does it take to bring you to Jesus? Can I preach tonight for a few minutes? What does it take to bring you to Jesus? Do you know God organizes, orchestrates, produces, directs a plan for your life so that you can practice having a holy hatred against the stuff in you, so you can practice keeping the city that he's working on inside of you clean? Come on, folks, tell the truth. Sometimes you have a difficult time just keeping your natural house clean. You look up and then you see some things and, Lord, I wish I had a maid. Yeah. And then the house you've got, you say, and you see something on the hill with 7 bathrooms, 9 bedrooms. Whoo, I wish I had that. And you can't keep that 2-bedroom apartment clean. Hello? See, what I'm saying to you is, if God has created a city in you, you better be the best street sweeper there is. You better learn how to keep your own streets clean, because stuff is always blowing. People are breathing their breath. Creatures are always coming with something, breathing at you. Got to learn how to keep the name lifted. Jesus looked at that man. He said, be of good cheer. Thy sins are forgiven. And though there be many, thy sins are forgiven. Woman, they brought in the very act of adultery. I don't know what was going on, but they said, we caught her doing what she had no business doing. Jesus said, he that without sin cast the first stone. They didn't bring that woman there because they were concerned about her. They wanted to trying to get somebody in trouble. They didn't